Well, hello and welcome again to our daily African Cup of Nations show on France 24. We're just one day away from kickoff for the tournament's first semi-final clash between Senegal and Burkina Faso. Here to preview all the action, I once again have the privilege of being joined by the fountain of football knowledge that is Ruben Slagter from Eurosport. Ruben, thanks again for joining us.
Good evening and thank you very much.
So, tomorrow, the Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium bears witness to that crunch clash between the Lions of Teranga and the Stallions, with neither team having ever lifted Africa's biggest prize in their history. Senegal were, of course, beaten finalists in the last edition against Algeria, while Burkina Faso lost in the final to Ivory Coast in 2013. For Aliou Cissé's men, defense has been key. They've conceded just one goal in all their matches coming up against Equatorial Guinea in the quarters, and they're also starting to show some real form in attack. Burkina Faso, meanwhile, are unbeaten in 10 of their last 11 games in all competitions, with their loss against Cameroon in the group stages the only one so far. A 1-0 win over Tunisia in the quarterfinal marks the highlight in what's been a seriously impressive campaign for MALO'S men. The last three encounters between these two teams have ended in a draw, but now there can be just one winner. Well, to bring us more, France 24 sports editor Simon Harding was at the Ahmadou Ahidjo earlier, telling us what to expect in full from a match that is certainly going to be the talk of the town in Yaoundé tomorrow.
Senegal start as the outright favourites against Burkina Faso in the first semi-final of the Africa Cup of Nations, which is going to be played right here at the Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium. The Lions of Teranga, led by Sadio Mané, will have their work cut out against an opponent whom they know very well, Burkina Faso, who they, of course, knocked out in the 2018 World Cup qualifiers. A very difficult encounter for Senegal, which they won on away goals on that occasion. Aliou Cissé and Sadio Mané in particular believed to be the catalyst for this Senegal side, who have gone from strength to strength in this tournament after a very slow start. It is now time for Senegal to shine. Legacy, also a word that was used by Aliou Cissé, his own personal legacy as being part of that 2002 golden generation, but also the legacy of Senegal as a footballing nation and of these players whom Aliou Cissé said had the best chance ever to try and win their first major tournament.
Since 2015, I believe there's been a progression at the international level of our team over these 6 years. I believe that Senegal has been very much shown that. So it's not a coincidence. This is evidence that this has been long-term work. The effort will be rewarded if this generation of players wins a trophy, the same trophy we've been seeking since 1960. We don't have it with extraordinary generations that have come and gone and didn't manage to get it. But we have faith and we will fight through any event to finally be part of the generation that wins it.
After a very convincing 3-1 victory against Equatorial Guinea in the quarterfinals, Senegal now have the opportunity to reach the final in back-to-back editions of the Africa Cup of Nations for the very first time. It must be said that Senegal have been one of the most consistent African nations for the past 3 years, reaching the final in 2019 where they were beaten by Algeria. Then, after a solid performance in the World Cup where they just barely failed to qualify for the knockout stages, and this time around now Senegal are the only team from 2 years ago in Egypt to make it this far in the competition. Sadio Mané is the top scorer for Senegal in the competition with 2 goals, but you really get the feeling that there are players capable of making the difference for the Lions of Teranga, including Ismaïla Sarr, released by Watford to come and finish off the tournament with his nation. Burkina Faso, who resisted for a long time against Tunisia, are going to have their work cut out. They also are facing suspensions, but for now Senegal will be able to take on this match at full capacity. No major injuries or cases of COVID, says Aliou Cissé, who has told his players to do what is necessary to bring the trophy home.
Thanks, Simon. Well, that is him bigging up really Senegal's chances. But Ruben, surely Burkina Faso, they have come to the last stages of the tournament in previous years. They have a chance, surely, even though they are underdogs. What do they need to do?
Well, the advantage for Burkina Faso is that they have already played this match early in the tournament against Cameroon. That was the opening match. Cameroon also odds-on favorites before that match. All the pressure on Cameroon. It's the same situation for Senegal right now. I thought that during that first match, Burkina Faso, for the first 30 minutes, they were excellent. They did exactly what they had to do. They were stubborn, they were defending really well, and they knew that because of the pressure on the opponents, the occasions would come at one point. It happened as well. They scored the first goal, and then they just gave it away by 2 really stupid fouls and conceding 2 penalties. For me, that was not because of Cameroon was that strong. I know that Senegal is another team, probably stronger than the Cameroon team, but if they will manage to be as stubborn as they have been also during the rest of the tournament, especially against Tunisia, and if they can get into the heads of the Senegalese players, we heard Simon say it, they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves as well. I think that there's a real chance that they can do something. It's a lot of if, maybe, but, I know, but we have seen stranger things during this tournament, so why not another surprise for Burkina Faso?
So the Lions of Teranga there for the taking, potentially. Just one mistake that could do it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think that if Burkina Faso will really believe in their chances and they will just be there just to frustrate them, as in the good sense of the word, and no, not by playing aggressively or whatsoever, but they can just meet up with Senegal. We've also seen Equatorial Guinea for some periods in that match playing some really interesting football against them. If they can manage to do that, why not? At the other side, we've heard all the other arguments from Simon. They are strong as well, so it's clear that Senegal is still the odds-on favorite to win tomorrow and even to win the tournament.
Well, with every match, there are certainly players that are going to stand out. And now in the semis, where the stakes are even higher, certain stars will have to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Senegal already boasts some formidable talent. We mentioned previously the likes of Chelsea's Edouard Mendy in goals, winner of the Best FIFA Goalkeeper Award. Now, of course, then there's Captain Koulibaly, who has been a stalwart in Napoli defence since 2014 and is widely regarded as one of the best centre-backs in Europe. He's joined by Bouna Sarr from Bayern Munich, Abdou Diallo for PSG and Salou Ciss for Nancy. And then there's Idrissa Gueye, Everton's go-to man in the middle of the park, while Sadio Mané needs no introduction as the winger who kick-started Jurgen Klopp's revolution at Liverpool. But Ruben, we were talking earlier, Simon mentioned about a specific player who might be that difference maker. He came on in the late game. Who for you do you see as that striker that can make the difference?
Yeah, it's Ismaïla Sarr, that's for sure. I mean, the interesting thing was when he came on against Equatorial Guinea, it all changed. He is such a dynamic, interesting player to watch, and by far, for me, the best striker they have in this Senegal squad. Keita Baldé is a little bit on the end of his career, I would say. Diédhiou is strong, but not as fast as Sarr, for example. So I wouldn't be surprised if he would start the match already tomorrow, because he is that little bit of extra they need probably to disturb or to dismantle the Burkinabe defense.
Of course, coming back from a serious injury, so it has to be seen whether he can do the business. Well, it's easy to gush over Senegal, but Burkina Faso have some serious talent too in their outfit. They will, however, be without goalscorer Dango Ouattara after the Lorient midfielder was sent off against Tunisia. And of course, then there's also Aristide Bonse, the man's forward, who can offer something a little bit different up top. And then in defense, Edmund Tapsoba, the rising star who plays for German club Bayer Leverkusen, certainly one to watch out for, 22 years old with the footballing world at his feet. But again, Ruben, for you, there's just one player who might be that difference maker in front of goal.
Yeah, well, it's Bertrand Traoré. We still don't know if he's going to play tomorrow, so yeah, that's it remains to be seen. But if he is there, he is just that kind of player that can always decide a game out of nothing. He's also the type of player that can be by far the worst or the best player on the pitch. But if Burkina Faso wants to make a chance tomorrow, and if they want to, if in the second half there will be some opportunities because it will remain a 0-0 for a long time, he is the type of player they are looking for. And yeah, we all already in the first round, he had some good performances. Then there was the whole COVID case, the injury. So it still remains to be seen, but I really hope that we can see again the Bertrand Traoré of, playing at Chelsea, for example, or even at Lyon. He has had some fantastic matches, and even now at Aston Villa. Sometimes it's not often that we see it anymore, but we all know that he's capable of doing incredible things. And this is a semi-final. If he wants to have his name into Burkinabe football history, this is the moment, of course.
Of course, you feel that he's the one kind of striker who, if he just gets that one chance, the clinical chance, he will put it away.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think that Burkina Faso, if they want to win, that's also how it has to be. If they should take all the chances they will get tomorrow, and yeah, then Bertrand Traoré is the man to watch.
Really an incredible watch on our hands to look forward to. Well, there you have it, an insight into what we can expect for tomorrow as all those star players aim to shine bright for their respective teams. Senegal and Burkina Faso are battling it out at the Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium. And also, let's not forget that on Thursday, it's time for the second massive encounter as 5 times winners and hosts Cameroon welcome 7 times winners Egypt, now resuming proceedings at the Olympic Stadium again at 8 p.m. local time. Well, speaking Cameroon, their campaign has been outlined by that stellar forward line of Karl Toko Ekambi with 5 goals, and of course Vincent Aboubakar with 6, scoring all the Indomitable Lions goals of the tournament so far. In the capital of the northern region where he comes from, the Cameroon captain and top scorer of this AFCON has become an idol. Michel Dior, his brother, has been welcoming fans from all over Garoua to watch games at their family house. For him, it's no surprise that Vincent is experiencing so much success on Africa's largest stage, given his fight to emerge from humble beginnings.
He started soccer in the neighborhood. He had a passion for soccer, and that passion was extraordinary. Vincent was the type of child who was humble, who was understanding, who was hardworking, who knew how to listen, and who also persevered while remaining disciplined. He's playing well, and his performances are incredible. We are satisfied with what he has done in the tournament, and the people in the north of Garoua are proud of everything Vincent has done.
Well, Ruben, we've talked about those players to watch. Surely that strike force of Ekambi and Aboubakar, I mean, what is it that makes them such a good partnership?
The good thing is that they're, in fact, quite different. Aboubakar is that classic fox in the box, that classic number 9 that's not often in modern football anymore. We don't see those type of players very often anymore. He is always scoring. Everywhere where he is playing, he is making goals. So that's, he's a certainty for your team. And Karl Toko Ekambi is a little bit more versatile player. He can also play on the wings. He is fast as well. So together, it's quite difficult to defend those players. And with the whole nation behind them, it also seems that especially for Aboubakar, but now finally also for Toko Ekambi, that they can give even a little bit more during those games during this Africa Cup of Nations, and that's of course really good news for the Cameroon team.
And just on another note, Ruben, on that Cameroon team, well, it's a welcome note in that the players have decided today, they've met with Federation head Samuel Eto'o to donate their knockout round bonuses. That's $85,000 each to the victims of the stampede at the Olympic Stadium. A lovely gesture from the Indomitable Lions. Well, that concludes the show. Thanks once again, Ruben, for your fantastic insight once again. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow in Paris and Yaoundé, bringing you the latest results and analysis of that first game, as well as a preview of that gigantic clash between Cameroon and Egypt on Thursday. Until then, stay tuned for more news on France 24.